FBI warning. Licensed only for non-commercial exhibition. Any other use or copying is strictly prohibited and may subject the offender to civil liability and severe criminal penalties.
Hi, Boo. Hi, do you hear the music? Huh?
From the moment of birth, parents create a warm, loving, and safe environment for their children.
Can you talk to it? Can you say Boo? Pat it and roll and mark it with the B.
They foster social interactions with their children through play and early experiences.
Yay! Oh, who's that? It's a ghosty.
Play-Doh? Birthday cake? I'll start, okay? Let's go up there.
Children with visual impairments may not initiate smiling, eye contact, or spontaneous interactions without support.
My turn. Your turn.
Parents and caregivers may have to stimulate and motivate their visually impaired child to become socially interactive and aware.
One more time? Okay. Up, 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 up. Down. 1 teaspoon of salt. Let's scoop it up. This is a measuring spoon.
The home and family unit provide the first social learning experiences. Exploration and involvement in family activities allow children to gain confidence in their abilities and skills.
Baking soda. I don't think this one you're going to like the taste. 1 teaspoon. Okay, I'm going to scoop it out of the box. It comes in a box.
Say sit, Ginger. Say sit, Ginger.
Once a child with a visual impairment learns that he or she can take risks, master independence through encouragement and love, and undertake new challenges, the foundation has been laid for social success.
Down.
Now we go down. Very good. One more step.
But social learning should not end at home. The acquisition of social skills for children with visual impairments should also occur throughout a child's educational experience. One cannot assume that a child who is blind or has low vision will, through incidental learning or maturation, learn the myriad of social behaviors necessary to become socially competent.
Daniel's had 1 turn. Who hasn't had 0 turns? Nick, and you can pick Daniel or Nick. Thanks for telling me. Ready? I like the way you're being good listeners and taking turns.
The development of socially appropriate behavior is an ongoing process that requires consistent feedback and positive expectations from significant others in a child's life.
I dropped it. Oh, Daniel, get those running legs going. Go, Hannah, go.
This video and the accompanying study guide have been developed to support parents and professionals in their efforts to teach social skills to young children with visual impairments and to help visually impaired children foster positive social relationships with peers, siblings, and other family members. Several examples of interventions and strategies will be presented throughout the video. Before we examine social intervention strategies for visually impaired children, it might be useful to review the stages of social development for sighted children. At as early as 1 month of age, A sighted baby has established a reciprocal relationship with his parents. The baby will establish eye contact with family members and begin to smile. By 3 to 5 months of age, the sighted baby is interactive with people around him. He begins to imitate, laugh, smile, and vocalize sounds. The baby also begins to reach for and grab familiar objects. At 6 months, the sighted child is beginning to explore and learn about his environment through daily experiences. The baby is beginning to establish mobility and loves to play interactive games such as peekaboo with friends and family. He also likes to reach for and grab familiar objects. By 9 months, the sighted baby can scoot around the house, make his social needs known through vocalizations, imitate social responses, and make choices. The 1-year-old is curious and likes to get into everything. Pots and pans, spoons, and other household items become toys. The 1-year-old may use 1 or 2 word responses and may show great emotion, such as anger or happiness, when changes are made in his world. At 18 months, the sighted child is walking and climbing and is eager to take risks. He begins to show interest in other children and may be involved in play activities with other toddlers. The 2-year-old wants to be independent and autonomous. There is greater interaction and play with peers, but the play is parallel, not interactive. 3-year-olds love to pretend. They make inanimate objects such as cars and dolls come alive. Children of this age move away from parallel play and begin to engage in interactive play. 4-year-olds engage in interactive games and pretend play. They understand the rules of sharing and are beginning to understand the concept of friendship. They are sensitive to the needs of other children and can show compassion for others. When a sighted 5-year-old enters kindergarten, he quickly learns the social rules of the school setting. Interaction among age mates is emphasized, and group experiences are encouraged. 5-year-olds learn to negotiate their social world through observation, modeling, and reciprocal responses. By having an understanding of the social development of young children who are sighted, we can develop strategies to enhance the socialization of children with visual impairments.
Here comes your feet. Good, 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 good. You like that, huh?
Social skills instruction for very young children with visual impairments can occur naturally with early intervention.
Give you kisses. I give you lots of kisses.
Parents and other family members love to stroke, massage, and play with the baby, establishing face-to-face contact, one of the most basic elements of appropriate social behavior.
Can you hit it? Huh? Can you hit your toy?
Consistent reinforcement of the desired behavior, paired with a verbal prompt, helps the baby learn the appropriate social response. Sunny includes Nicholas in many of her daily routines and activities. She talks to Nicholas while doing errands or performing household tasks.
Oh, smile. Give me a smile. Oh, you were a good boy today.
This helps him become aware of familiar voices and sounds and gives him an opportunity to be part of the social milieu. For sighted children, predictability is a learned skill based on observation. Children with visual impairments learn to utilize all of their remaining senses to assist in developing social contacts.
Should we take the umbrella away and feel the raindrops? Put your hands out.
As young visually impaired children become accustomed to a routine and to their environment, they will be more willing to engage in new activities.
Wet or is it dry? Wet. No, it's not dry, it's wet. Can I feel? Oh, I feel the raindrops on your hands. Feel it?
Children with visual impairments, however, often require support and encouragement from family members to help them adjust to environmental changes.
Is that fun?
When Mommy turns it on, it's going to make a loud noise.
It is often helpful to tell young children with visual impairments what will happen next, so they can anticipate a change in a routine or activity. Some young children may resist new food tastes or tactile sensations unless verbal or touch cues are given first.
Katie, these are called craisins. Do you want to try them?
Try them?
Yeah. I'm going to put some on your mat. You tell me what they feel like. What do they feel like? Tell me what they feel like. They feel yummy. You know what though? These are called craisins. They're just like raisins. Can you feel them? Do they feel like a raisin?
Are you picking this for me?
Yes,
Providing real-life experiences that encourage children to explore and to become part of the family unit helps establish a strong sense of self that enhances the socialization process.
It's like another
Feel this,
plant.
it's almost like a dried flower.
What? This?
Yeah.
Do we have these?
Do you want to pick some of those for our bouquet at home?
Wow. It's big and muddy over here.
Jinky, why don't you say hi, Alvia, so she knows where you are?
Hi, Elvia. Yo, Jinky.
Social intervention strategies for young children with visual impairments emphasize the importance of appropriate social behavior, play and social interactions with peers and adults, and communication. Appropriate social behavior. Appropriate social behavior for young visually impaired children includes eye contact, proper body posture, appropriate gestures and facial expressions, decreased mannerisms, taking turns, sharing with others, and the use of good manners. Teaching these skills begins by having clear expectations of a child's performance and by understanding the importance of using these behaviors on a consistent basis.
Can you hand her a cracker? Hand it to Katie.
One way to guide children toward appropriate social behavior is to redirect or ignore a non-desired behavior. Adrian tends to grab his food when he is hungry.
No grab. No. Here.
To redirect this behavior, his teacher requires him to select a specific food item and waits for eye contact and a response before giving the food to him. Adrian is praised when he exhibits the appropriate social behavior.
Asking. Thank you.
When she becomes excited or frustrated, Jovita rocks back and forth to soothe herself. Recognizing this, Jovita's teachers let her know that she must be excited or frustrated and engage her in an activity that reduces the rocking.
Okay. That was great, but could you look at Michael and say that again to him and look right at him, okay?
An even more productive way to guide children toward appropriate social behavior is to provide them with positive reinforcement when the desired behavior is displayed.
He really knows you're talking to him. And that was good. You looked right at him.
Social interactions with peers and adults. Social interactions with other babies or toddlers, as well as adults, provide young visually impaired children with an introduction to the enjoyment of play. Young children with visual impairments learn to play and interact with others by taking part in play groups, participating in rough and tumble activities such as climbing or group outdoor games, and engaging in pretend play. Some young visually impaired children may need support from their parents or teachers to learn to play with inanimate objects. Knowing how to play house, or bake a pretend cake, for instance, may be a challenge for children who do not have prior experience with the subject or a visual frame of reference.
Cinderella.
As children grow, their play becomes more structured. Games teach turn-taking and sharing. Here, Courtney talks and plays hand-clapping games with her friends while waiting in line to play jump rope.
Courtney, it's your turn.
Good job.
Green. Green.
Michael requires support from other classmates to make this simple board game a success. He smiles and uses eye contact to let Courtney know he is having a good time.
Wow, Daddy.
It is important for the teacher of the visually impaired, orientation and mobility specialist, and general education classroom teacher to spend time teaching specific games and activities to young students with visual impairments. Teaching these youngsters how to play on jungle gyms, swings, slides, bikes and trikes, how to play jump rope, hopscotch, hand-clapping games, and ball games, and how to play with action figures or dolls will help promote group interaction and social competence.
We do a lot of games during circle time, Tisket-Tasket and Duck-Duck-Goose, and a lot of gross motor activities that require even having partners. The kids learn lots of social skills when they play these group games and these group activities. They learn to take turns. They learn to follow group directions. They have to make some kind of appropriate connection with the kid, whether it's eye contact or some kind of physical contact.
It is also important to provide parents of young children with visual impairments opportunities to get together. Social gatherings make it possible for parents to chat and share experiences with each other and help them view their child's capabilities in a positive light. These gatherings also give parents the opportunity to learn from one another by exchanging ideas and resources.
I like coming to events at CSB because we get to meet the other parents and interact, and I get lots of information I would normally get just by talking to the other parents. And I feel like sometimes I can be a resource and give them information as well.
Oh, it's a great idea. I belong to all kinds of groups. You have the support that you need. You find that your reactions and your feelings to the different situations you encounter is what everyone else is feeling. Sometimes you feel that you're the only one, and you find out you're not.
Just to give us an idea if we're doing okay, you know, if we're doing the norm type thing. It's very important because a lot of times you do feel kind of isolated and alone, and you don't know if you're doing all the right things with your kids. So it's very important just to share.
It is very important because you want your child to live as full and real and independent a life as possible. And the more social skills they learn and we learn trading ideas and information with other parents, the more our kids learn. And it's an ongoing process as they change and grow older, and we always need ideas and help.
Communication.
Would you?
A blue.
A blue one, yeah.
The use of appropriate social behavior and the acquisition of play skills for young children are highly dependent upon social communication.
Lala.
Oh, here's a yellow one.
Communication can be verbal or nonverbal. It is important for young children with visual impairments to learn gestures such as waving hello or goodbye and throwing kisses.
What you?
Communication provides an outlet for young children to express their feelings and ideas.
Mama, what's your real teeth like?
It is common for young children with visual impairments to ask questions about their surroundings or about the people with whom they are interacting.
Yeah.
What color is it?
Blue.
What color is it?
Green.
Yeah, it's green, and it has big tires.
but young visually impaired children may exhibit difficulty with reciprocal communication. They should be encouraged to contribute to conversational give and take by relating their personal experiences or activities to others.
Why don't you turn towards Courtney and tell her about the birthday that you had here in room 3? Can you tell her a little bit about the birthday party that we had here?
Yeah.
What did you get?
Presents.
Well, tell her more.
Courtney, I get presents on my birthday. It was a Barbie, and it have a crown and a necklace, and then have a drawer.
Social communication is often nonverbal and is based upon visual cues.
Are you waiting for something, Nicholas?
Providing verbal feedback for children with visual impairments to help them interpret the facial expressions and gestures of others, or a pause in conversation, can ease their entry into groups, facilitate turn-taking, and result in expansion of play.
You guys look like you're having a good time. Nicholas is smiling. Thank you for sharing with him. When you guys play together, it's more fun.
Oh, look, I found yellow.
Marissa has learned to wait for a lull in the play conversation before asking to join the group.
It's a wig. I know. Can I see this, you guys? Sure.
You know what? This is too little for me. The vest doesn't fit me.
Then where's this?
Oh, then wear that and you wear the vest?
Yeah.
Good communication, paired with appropriate social behavior, allows visually impaired children to achieve competency and confidence in themselves.
Can you use Sally's name so she knows you're talking to
Let's
her?
go give this tea to the baby.
Nice telling her, Joe.
Young children with visual impairments who are socially competent draw on expectations from those individuals who influence their lives. Social competence occurs when expectations are clear and instruction is consistent and meaningful. The following questions may help parents and teachers determine if their expectations for social performance are occurring on a regular basis. Are there opportunities for the child to make choices? Does the child receive consistent feedback about positive and negative behavior? Is the child encouraged to explore and test the limits of his environment? Does the child participate in family activities? Is the child encouraged to communicate needs, desires, and emotions? Does the child participate in chores and household responsibilities? Is the child encouraged to discuss daily events and activities with family, teachers, and peers? Does the child have a positive attitude about his visual impairment? Is visual impairment and blindness discussed in a positive light?
I'll clean this up, but only with my feet.
Social competence is also built by establishing a strong sense of identity in one's visual impairment. Visually impaired children, who along with their families are proud of their abilities and accomplishments and talk freely about blindness or low vision, are more apt to exhibit independent and age-appropriate social behavior.
Can you pour me and Jared some also? I have 2 more cups for you.
You don't want those?
You get them.
Shelby, there's some more to the left. Go back where you were and see if you can find the rest of them. Jared. Shelby's going to get them.
Also, young children with visual impairments who are given responsibilities in their lives on a regular basis will exhibit a positive attitude toward their abilities and will want the challenge of greater autonomy.
You big helper. Let's put some more toys away.
Okay, we're going to have a snack with some pretzels.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the pretzels. Do you have the bowls?
This is mine, and this bowl. This part of the bowl is yours. Yeah, this bowl is yours, Mom.
Thank you. Do you want to dish them out?
Yeah.
There aren't too many in there, but I think there's enough for all of us.
Okay. I'll serve them to everybody.
In this informal discussion with parents of children with visual impairments, Dr. Sharon Sachs, Assistant Superintendent at the California School for the Blind, asks parents what their hopes and dreams are for their children.
You want your child to be independent and productive and to lead a life full of growth, to live up to their potential, and just that they can live a fulfilled life. And
they can basically take care of themselves and live in the real world.
Giving them the opportunity to just try to do things on their own.
Yes.
And recognize that they're going to fall and hurt themselves and be rough and tumble, and giving them as many experiences as you can.
because, you know, you can get through life if you can make relationships work. And you don't have to be brilliant. You don't have to have any degrees. If you can make relationships work, you can get through life and be successful.
The dreams and hopes for families of young children with visual impairments are simple. They want their children to be part of a peer group, to be included in school, community, and family life, and to be liked and accepted by others. Parents and professionals want children with visual impairments to reach their highest potential and to lead happy, fulfilled lives. This is a challenge we face together. The accompanying study guide and resource materials will assist you in designing and implementing instructional programs to promote social competence for young children with visual impairments. Focused on Social Skills series is available through the American Foundation for the Blind, 11 Penn Plaza, Suite 300, New York, New York, 10001. For more information, please call 1-800-232-3044. Copyright 1999, Wolf Sachs. Copying prohibited. All rights reserved.